Hello student, welcome to today's session on the question of the day. Today is the 17th April and we are going to discuss another important question from the topic SQL functions. So let's see the question first. So the question is on your screen. It is a 4-mark question and it has the internal choice also. So I am reading out the question first. Amita has created the attributes room number, customer name, room type and room rent of the table hotel. So there is a table hotel and its attributes means columns are given like room number, customer name, room type and room rent, and there are three types of rooms: single AC, double AC and single NAC, and there are some room rents mentioned, and one of the room doesn't have any room rent. That means its room rent is not available currently. So based on the above information, you need to find out the output of the following query. So first we will discuss this question. We will discuss how can we predict the output of this query, and then the question given as an option is also available, and it is based on the group by, and that is perform the room type. So we will discuss both these questions and answer one by one. So let's see the first portion of the question first. So the first portion of the question is given. You need to predict the output of the following command. So first command I am taking. So select minimum of room rent and maximum of room rent, means minimum of the room rent you need to get. So min function will get the minimum among the room rent column, minimum value among the room rent column. So which is the minimum value? You can see here 500 is the minimum value, so the 500 will be the output. And same way in the second portion of this query is asked maximum of room rent. So you will ask you will write maximum of room rent, and here it is room. Maximum of room rent is what? In this table the maximum room rent is 1900, so we will print here 1900. Second portion is select average of room rent from the hotel where room type is double AC and room rent is 18,000. Here we need to print the average of room rent for those rows whose room type is double AC and rent must be greater than equals to 1800. So we are interested in which rows? We are interested in the first we need to we are interested in the double AC. So double AC there are three values, but in the double AC also we are only interested in those rooms whose room rent is greater than or equals to 8000, greater than or equals to, remember. So 1600 will not come, 1800 will come because it's equals to 1800, and 1900 will come because its value is greater than 1800. So 1800 and 1900 will be added up and divided by 2 because we are interested to we need to find out the room rent. So average we need to find out the room rent average. So we will add these values and divide by 2, and here we will get 3700 divided by 2, and its value will be 1850. Okay, so output will be here in this case will be you will see that average of room rent, here you will mention room rent, and its output will be 1850. That way you can answer. Now we are moving to the third portion. We need to calculate the sum of the room rent. Here we need to calculate the sum of the room rent for those room types whose room type is single AC. So we are interested only those rooms which are of type single AC. So single AC, one room is there, another one room is there, and third one room is also there. So we need to calculate the sum of these room rents for single AC. So 900 will be added, and then null value here, one row has the null value that will be uh, excluded by the sum function. So here sum single AC 1800 value divided by, we need to calculate the sum only, we need not to divide, because in last question we need to calculate the average, that's why we divided by 2, but here we need to calculate the sum only. So we can directly calculate the sum, and sum will be here 1700. So you can calculate sum of room rent here, and it will be 1700, I think. Okay, here we will exclude the null, remember, no null value will come in output. But remember, you should remember, like if you were asked like null plus 100, what will be the output of this query? Then in this case output will be null. If you will directly add null value with some another integer value, then output will be null always. Okay, but if you are using the sum function to calculate the sum of the values having null value, then null will be excluded. That thing you should remember. Now we are going to solve this fourth portion. Is the we need to calculate the length of the customer name. Length function, what length function do? Length function will calculate count the number of characters in the name. So first we need in output is the length of customer name. Okay, so here customer name you will write, and then you will need room type also, but whatever is mentioned in the select list we will apply it. And then here you need to calculate the for those rooms whose room rent is null only. We are interested only the row which has the room rent value is null. So here only one value is null. So for that value we need to calculate the length of this soma. Soma has 4 characters, so its output will be 4, and room type it will what? Single AC. Okay, so that way you can answer this question very easily. Okay, I hope you got my point. It's very simple. Min function, max function, average function, sum function and length function was used, and all those functions I have already discussed in detail in the videos available in the playlist. You can watch those videos if you didn't get the solution, or you may comment on this video. Now we will discuss the second portion of this question, that is given as the internal choice. So this question is very important. In this question what we need to do, we need to predict the output first, then we need to justify our output. So first query I am reading out. Select the room type. First we need to select the room type. Room type we need to print, and the average of room type we need to print. Okay, then average we need to print. Now what we need to do here, group by is given this in this query. So room type column is used to group the rows of this table. So in that case, whenever we apply a group by on the any column, then these columns unique values or distinct values will become the groups. So here 3 distinct values are there: single AC, double AC and single NAC. So here 3 groups will be created. One is single AC, and another one is double AC, and another one is single NAC. Okay, so 3 room types are created. Now what we will see, average of room types. So single AC have how many number of values? 900 is one value, so 900 plus a single AC null value is there, so null value will be excluded, and another one is 800. So 900 plus 800 divided by 2, because we are interested in average, so it's 1700 divided by 2, and it will be around 850. So its output against the single AC will be 850, because it's average. Now we will calculate the average for double AC. Double AC, how many values are there? One is 1600 plus another one is 1800 plus another one is 1900. So we will add those values and divide by 3. This time we need to divide by 3 because 3 rows are there. In that case, in the previous case, we are dividing only with 2 because one value was null. Null value is excluded always. So if we are add those values, then 17 and 6, 3 and 2, 1 2 3 5 5 300 divide by 3, and in that case 1, and 3 7 ja 21, 6 8 ja 20, so 3 1 ja 3, 2 3, 7 3 ja 21, 2, and 6 3 ja 18, 2 6 3 ja 18, 2, and 6 6. That way it will continue. So its average will be 1766.66. Now single NAC is only one row, so its average will be that value only. So 500 will come here only directly. Now we will predict the output for the second query. Second query is given what? Select room type and average room. Again we need to select the room type, and again average of room rent. Okay, here it is room rent, not type. Okay, and then what we need to do here, again 3 groups will be there, but in this query having clause is used, so the results of this group by will be filtered. 3 groups may not come. So count of room rent will be calculated, and whenever there is 2 or more rows in any group, then in that case this will come in output. For single AC, double AC, I am just calculating, and single NAC. So average we have already calculated 850 and 1766.66, and one another one is 5 null. Now this is average, and one more thing we need to calculate here, count of this room rent I am writing RR. Okay, so here if we count for single AC, how many rows are there on the room rent excluding null values? So single AC 1 and 2 values only, because null will not be counted, so its value will be 2. Double AC, how many values are there? 1, 1 this, 2 this, and 3, so 3 values are there. And single NAC we are only having the 1 value. Count function only count the number of rows excluding null values, remember. It is not count star. If it was count star, then this will be 3 only. Okay, single AC will also have 3 if it is count star greater than 2. If it was asked count star greater than 2, then it will be 3 here. Okay, but here it has mentioned count room rent strictly, then we need to consider this room rent values only, and null is always excluded whenever we don't apply count star. Okay, so here too, and then in having condition is applied greater than 2, strictly greater than 2 means this single AC will not come, this single NAC will not come, only double AC will come because its value is strictly greater than 2. So in the output only double AC and 1766.66 will be output. Okay, so this way only one output will come. So this is the output, we have predicted the output. Now we need to justify the output, how this output came. So in the first case, how you will write the justification? In first case you will write the justification that the results of table are grouped with room type column values and okay, the results of the table are grouped with the room type column values, and the average of room rent was calculated. The average of room rent was calculated for group wise. Okay, group wise. So that's how the output came. And for second question, what will be the justification? Is the results of group by on room type was filtered using having clause hence only the filtered results were displayed. Okay, were displayed. So this way you can justify your answer. So 1 mark for predicting the output of this, 1 mark for predicting the output this, 1 mark for justifying the first query, and second one mark for justifying the second query. So this way you can answer this question very easily. So I think I hope you got the answers. If you still didn't got the answer, please watch my video on the SQL functions and the group by clause, that will solve the problem. And if you still didn't got the solution, then comment on the video, I will get back to you. Thank you so much. If you like this video, please press on the like button and share it with your classmates so that everyone can get benefited. Thank you so much. See you in the next video with another important question.